So honestly, when people usually ask me to do stuff, I charge them by how many letters are in there rather than the size. Because I could paint, you know, a giant thing that's 20 feet long that says yes in all block letters, and it would take me as long to do, you know, an 8-inch by 8-inch thing that's like an entire paragraph worth of words. So I'm guessing this will probably take me about 4 hours, 4 or 5 is my guess. And the reason being is because the problem with these, this is cursive, you know, and when you do cursive letters, you just gotta watch your curves a lot better, you know. It's not as easy as being like going down. You gotta like do the curves, so it takes a little tiny bit longer. But again, the lettering will go, I mean, it'll take some time, but the plants, that'll be a breeze, because they're plants. Well, my name is Hayley Barry. I'm a lettering artist, a sign painter, a mural artist, an illustrator. I kind of do all those things. Elementary school, I always drew, and in middle school, I always drew, and in middle school, on the student government, I was in charge of making all the posters and stuff. And then in high school, I was our student body artist and stuff. So I don't know, I was just the person that always drew. When I was a junior in high school, I got a job working at an antique store. But one day, my boss asked me, he said, "Hey, dude, I need you to make a sign for that couch over there. This is 25% off." So just like on a piece of paper or whatever. And so I said, okay, and I went and I got a Sharpie and I drew it out, but I did like nice block letters and stuff because, I don't know, it needs to be presentable, right? And I stuck it on the couch and he comes and he goes, "Dude, I had no idea you did hand lettering." And I was like, what? Like hand lettering? Because in my mind, it's like, well, if you can draw people, if you can draw buildings, you know, if you can draw stuff, you can draw the alphabet. But he was so excited about it and he had me start making other signs for stuff around the antique store. But people really liked him. People would come in and ask about him and they'd say, "Who did these cute little signs?" And people just really liked him. So at that point, he had me start painting signs and painting on stuff, you know, for the store, and we would sell it in the stores. And I just kept doing that, you know, just kept putting myself out there and getting work, and little by little, you know, it just turned into what it is now. So I was a freshman in high school. We were sitting around and just a big bump showed up on my neck and it didn't go away and it didn't go away, and got it checked out and it was cancer. And that was a bummer. A bummer. That's kind of like an understatement. It was really crappy. I did the chemo, did the radiation. I think the whole thing was like a 6-month period because, oh, I guess I should say I have Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's kind of important, I guess. So it's in my neck and chest area. It's my lymph nodes. In lymphoma, like if you're gonna get cancer, it's one of the better ones to get. You know, you'll learn a lot of weird stuff when you go through chemo. Like there's all these weird things. Like everyone knows you lose your hair, right? But like what they don't tell you is that it turns your pee orange, and just like all this weird stuff. And it makes you feel pretty crappy. But even though it felt crappy, I decided pretty early on that I wasn't gonna be sick. And that sounds like a crazy thing to say, you know, just to decide that you're not gonna be sick. But I did. I said I'm not gonna be sick, and I truly believe that was a big part of why I did so well with everything. And so there were days, I remember waking up and being like, I'm gonna die. Like, I cannot get up and go to school today. Like, I feel so terrible. But you know what? I just got up and went to school anyway, and I didn't complain. And even though it was terrible, I was doing something, and I was there, and I don't know. You could say that maybe I was faking it, you know, pretending to be happy, because I would act, you know, like I was feeling good even when I was feeling terrible. Like, if people would say, "How are you doing?" I'd say, "I'm great." Usually when you get it and they treat it, there's like a 0.5% chance of it coming back a second time. Like, it's one that usually the first time is enough and it doesn't come back. But mine came back because I just beat all the odds all the time, right? And so mine came back and that was crappy. So I had to do the whole thing over again. had to lose my hair, had to do chemo, had to do radiation. And the second time, of course, because it was the second time, it was way, way worse. I was in Alabama. I was serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Alabama. And I'm out there, you know, and all of a sudden, get a bump on my neck. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But I got it checked out and a cancer again. So I'm actually currently still dealing with that. I've been doing treatment for this third time for about 2 years now, exactly. So just still have cancer.
So the world can be a cold and unforgiving place. When people get cancer, especially young people like Hayley, it's completely unfair. It's simply not okay that that happens to people in the world. Yet Hayley's response has been one of this positive tenacity. In spite of her ailments, she's decided that the best response to the unfairness that she faces in life is to create, to make the world in which she lives a better, more beautiful place. It doesn't solve these big problems, but it's definitely an effective remedy. Creation and art as a way to combat the inevitability of illness and death.
To be totally honest, I don't think my cancer is ever going to go away. You know, I think it'll be something that for my whole life I'm going to be dealing with. Just because if it hasn't gone away yet, why would it go away? You know, I mean, at least that's kind of how I feel. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, right? I think a big part of life is learning to take what you're given and to figure out what you're gonna do with it. You know what I mean? And for me, I've got cancer, you know, but some people, everyone's got something, you know. Lots of times people say to me, they say, oh my gosh, I have no idea how you manage to have cancer and do all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, but there's all these terrible things that can happen to people. You know, I've never had, like, my spouse die. I don't know what it's like to have a kid who's addicted to drugs. Like, there's all these terrible problems that everybody has. And no problems are bigger or smaller than others. You know, everyone's got them. And I think you can let your problems run your life, or you can run your own life and you know, deal with your problems and make it work. And for me, I've chose to just make it work. And so if my cancer never goes away, I'll just make it work. You know what I mean? Because that's the best you can do. You can't choose the things that happen to you, but you can definitely choose what you're gonna do with it. Make really cool stuff, and I want people to know I'm making cool stuff, you know? Gosh, is that a legacy, just making cool stuff and everyone knowing that you're making it? I don't know. I guess I just want to be known as someone that made really cool things, and I don't know. That's kind of weird. I feel so weird telling you that, but yeah, someday when you see me on TV, like, it's no surprise. Like, we all knew it was gonna happen.